All right, welcome to the Expert Show. It's Sunday night. It's how we've been coming to you lately on a Sunday night. Oh, what a week it's been. It's kind of a somber Sunday a bit. I mean, we recovered. We're going to be all right. He made it. Trump made it. What do you think, Joe?
Yeah, I do. This is the craziest thing I've ever. I mean, I remember the Reagan one, and that was pretty nutso. But this is insane, dude. I mean, what just happened is just unbelievably I mean, everybody predicted it.
Yeah.
Tucker, I think. Alex Jones has been talking about it for a while.
It certainly was. You know, we saw this train coming for quite a while. But, God.
But where do we go from now, I guess?
It's still shocking.
Yeah.
And just to think that just he's 1 inch away from, you know, him possibly being past and future president, possibly being dead.
On TV. On live TV.
And where would we be then? I mean, because, you know, if we don't have a candidate and we just get Biden pushed down our throats at that point, I don't think that's a no-go for a lot of people. So I don't know where we go from there.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, something's got to. Yeah, it's just rhetoric needs to calm down, I guess, but it's not gonna. It's gonna get worse because now everybody on the right's pissed off. You know, they tried to kill their savior, for God's sakes, and you know, I don't know, man. I mean, there's going to be no answers. If anybody like in the government was involved in it, we'll never know because the FBI is going to do the investigation, so they're going to find what they want to find, right? I mean, if you know, I'm not saying I don't know, I don't know shits, but you know, it seems just really odd, and we'll get into it. But the failures that were there, dude, between like guys a football field away from Trump with a rifle on a roof, people see him, you know, the whole thing's just it's insane, dude. I mean, you got to scream conspiracy when so many weird things happen, dude.
I don't know. We all feared this was going to happen, right? I mean, they tried everything. You know, this is their last. It seems to be the last card.
That's the way
to play.
Yeah, that's the way
possibly could be played. You know, we first they tried to just belittle his character. They've tried to expose everything possible. Thought drag him through the courts. Let's try to make him a convicted felon so he can't run.
Went after his kids.
Yeah, the family was definitely at play as well. I mean, they did not. There wasn't one thing that they didn't try to go after this man for since the very beginning of his in 2016. Right, like it's just been nonstop.
It started once before he was ever sworn in. They already had a plan going in. Obama left a bunch of people behind to like screw with his presidency, starting with the Russia gate, which like we were talking about earlier. And the funny thing is like, because you know these conspiracies you hear about like JFK stuff, but you always are like, well, maybe that's just now you think all the shit's true, but because you've seen what's happened to Trump and you're like kind of woken up and been like, oh my God, these guys, this isn't a spy novel. Yeah, I mean, we live in Game of Thrones, for God's sake.
For real. And I mean, as far as I know, they didn't try to all this kind of stuff on JFK or anybody else, right? They didn't have them, you know, up on charges, like digging into, like, yeah, we all know they all had checkered past once it's all come out now and, you know, in the wash now that we have a little more information on some of these people that I think we thought all of our leaders before were some kind of angels. No, they're all humans. They all have done things wrong in their life. We all have, you know, we all have weak points, you know, but we also have really strong points, and we see Trump is the man for the hour for us now, and he's not going down. You know, we saw that. So I don't know, Joe. Let's just kind of get into watching some clips, kind of move the kind of little quick synopsis of where we're at right now.
Trump wasn't the only victim of this attack. We have 1 person dead, 2 critically injured. What more are we learning about those victims?
Actually, Diana, I have a little breaking news on that front. The Pennsylvania State Police actually just released the names of all of the injured. We've learned that another victim was 57-year-old David Dutch of New Kensington, Pennsylvania. He's currently listed in stable condition. And then also 74-year-old James Copenhaver of Moon Township, Pennsylvania, who was also now listed in stable condition. And earlier today, Governor Josh Shapiro announced that a 50-year-old named Corey Compatore was killed that day. He's a girl dad, a husband, a firefighter, as his widow saying that he died a hero diving on top of his family. And so now we officially know all of those individuals that were injured in yesterday's shooting.
Yeah, that's the guy, Corey Campagno.
That was the guy they were carrying off of that video.
That's the guy took it in the head. Yeah, and he died jumping on top of his family to make sure and shield them from.
Which probably would have hit one of them then. Right, amazing.
I mean, it's incredible. He just turned 50.
So he died on top of his family.
Yep.
Because of some. Oh my God.
Brands all over his family.
Wow.
From this. So any of you, I don't even know what names I want to call you, but I want to say this is some kind of a hoax or a setup or this is staged or whatever.
Yeah, there was an actress that came out and said that. I watched a video.
You're going to show some footage that I haven't seen before of the crowd behind Trump dealing with the aftermath of all the blood and guts from this son of a bitch, and you tell me if that looks staged or not. Okay, you want to go after Alex Jones for shit, and but now you're saying this is staged.
Right.
Shame on you.
Yeah.
But
yeah, he lost $1 billion over that, didn't he? I mean, that's
lost his entire
this
legacy.
Family, this family should be suing this actress that said that. I watched the video. I don't know who it was, but it was on another YouTube channel. I watched it, and she said that she lived in the ghetto for a while, and that it doesn't sound like gunfire doesn't sound like popcorn. She said he had a pill, one of those like fake blood pills that he probably bought, and that's when he reached up to his ear. It's when he put the blood on there.
He's Heinrich Himmler with a cyanide pill.
Yeah, Trump's like David Copperfield now, right? He's up there, illusions. He's Doug Henning up there or something, wearing a leotard for God's sakes.
Well, it's great to have these fantasies that have been put into your head by all these.
I'm surprised
liars on the left. You'll just believe anything, or of course, anything's a setup or staged or it's fake. But you'll believe anything they say about Trump being a Hitler or a dictator. He's gonna democracy's gonna be destroyed by him. And
I thought they were gonna go with AI. This is fake. It's an AI video of Trump getting shot. But I don't. I mean, come on. Do you really think? Like, first of all, do you think he would try something like that? Because if he got caught, that's the end of it. He doesn't, the whole thing's just ridiculous that he would like stage a shooting attempt in front of 25,000 people,
I don't know. It isn't even worth giving it any more.
Yeah. It's unbelievable.
Like time. I mean, really, it's just
a cognitive
disgusting
decline. And
I can't even deal with it. But here's another quick little clip of kind of what went down, and we'll react to this.
An incident not seen in a generation. Now the start of a new chapter of modern history. The assassination attempt of the former president and current presumptive presidential nominee, leaving a nation stunned.
That bullet went just apparently a millimeter from doing real and permanent damage to him, or perhaps taking his life.
Speaker of the House Mike Johnson promising a full investigation into how Donald Trump was left so vulnerable, following witness accounts like this.
We noticed a guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof. We're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle.
A rifle.
We could clearly see him with a rifle. Absolutely.
The suspected shooter killed by Secret Service.
So we'll get into this a little later. We have a guy going over kind of Secret Service ops of how they should have assessed the situation and set up for the to watch the area, and who would probably be responsible for maintaining eyes on this area right here. I mean, this redhead dude, like, he was hanging out with his friends right behind this building. They were barbecuing or something, and they're, Trump's going to speak. We'll go. We can't see him, but we'll go out to where we can hear him. And they actually see this guy crawling on the roof from 50 yards away. If these people are hanging out right here, and this is 130 yards
I think,
from the stage.
I think you can see a gun in someone's hand. It's only that's a football field with the end zones, right? So that's 120 yards. So basically, if you saw somebody on the other side of a football stadium, you could see them with a gun. So Trump could have possibly seen this guy, which is crazy, dude. I mean, I don't know how. There's a bunch of stuff. Like, why wasn't there? This is that close. So why didn't they have somebody up there already? I mean, it's a great vantage point. Why wouldn't you be up there to look at stuff?
Either be somebody up there, or they would be watching that area like a hawk, or they would definitely at least have these buildings. Any accessibility to the rooftop would have been, blocked off and monitored. What I mean? Especially some guy with a long rifle slung over his back, wearing like basically camo. crawling up. I mean,
Yeah, I hate to go conspiracy
come on,
theory,
man.
dude. It's crazy, but
I mean, I don't know about
these
conspiracy or just terrible. Just
that's
completely dropped the ball.
I mean, this is the Secret Service. These are the best in the world. Right? These are supposed to be the highest of like.
But the question is, did Trump get the best of the world? Like, did we get this?
I heard his
junior
were
league?
loyal,
You know what I mean?
but I don't know anymore. Maybe like who knows, dude? I mean, who knows? And that's the thing. It's like I hate going to conspiracy. There's just so much stuff.
Yeah,
Just obviously
we definitely need a full review of this. This needs to be investigated and
crazy, dude. Crazy.
Yeah, this definitely not.
Well, who's going to do the investigation? The feds, right? So, I mean, they're not.
I don't know, but we need to, everybody that has video, these, people like this guy in the redhead dude in the visor. Like, we need more of this to come out, right? We need these eyewitness accounts.
Well, the shooter's dead, so that sucks. I mean,
yeah,
that's always like FBI now has his phone, and they've got all the stuff. So if they don't want to release something, and I'm not saying the FBI,
but I feel
it,
like we need to track him down a little bit. Like, we don't have much information on him, like maybe a name, but we don't even know if it's really. There's still questions about it. We even have identified. I don't know. It's like it's still foggy. But we need to find this guy. They're saying there's no social media on this guy that we can find any of his connections. Is that what they said, really? Because he looks
or
not much. But what 20-year-old in the United States doesn't have social media?
And he's a loner, so he's by himself, right?
Yeah,
so
right.
he's got to be on the internet. What's he doing?
So we need to find his connections, who he's talked to. Like something more. Dig into his life, like they dig into Trump's life.
Yeah, what'll happen though? They'll find a few things on it, and then we'll have a little show hearing, and they'll bring Christopher Wray in there, and they'll say, "Christopher, what about this?" Like they did with Ray Epps and all this other stuff that seemed out of the
Well,
ordinary.
we're not going to let it go.
No, I know we're not, but he'll just won't talk about it.
20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks,
Not going to comment on that, Bill.
Republican who also donated to a left-leaning group. Police say he had explosives in his car and at his home, and was just about 200 to 300 yards away from the state.
So yeah, I mean, look at this direct line of sight here. I mean, like, I mean, if you're not watching this right here,
how?
Like
and
a hawk.
I think like on the building down here, move your mouse down a little bit. The third building on the top, I think that's where the snipers were for
yeah, they were kind of like, I think they're right here.
Yeah, it was like a peak
yeah, so they're like right
yeah.
here. Maybe they're on this side of the peak.
Yeah.
Kind of watching this area more. But I mean, oh my God. I mean, come on, man. You know what I mean? Like, you kidding me? You know what I mean? Like,
dude.
You got, 130 yards with a sniper with a, with an AR-15 or whatever.
I'll tell you what, the kid was a pretty good shot, though.
I mean,
like that's not. I mean, that's like for a sniper, that's a cake shot. But I mean, he was a 20-year-old kid. I must have been shooting quite a bit because
I guess he had his practice.
I mean, Trump just luckily turned his head at the last moment and it got his ear.
Not good enough, but poor Corey.
Yeah,
good. Got him.
The crook.
Son of a bitch.
Crooks.
Page where Donald Trump was speaking.
How is it that someone could get on a roof with a superior position with a weapon and attempt to assassinate former President Donald Trump?
Good
it's just
point.
Unthinkable, unfathomable. We need to know, is this a protocol failure? Is this a resources issue?
A defiant Donald Trump urging his followers on social media to fear
Just
not.
suck it right there, man.
Resilient. Returning to New Jersey and announcing he
Look
had
at that.
decided
He takes
not
the big
to delay his
stairs.
trip to Milwaukee, posting,
Big boy stairs.
"I cannot allow a shooter or
Might do a
potential
big boy
assassin
press conference.
to
We
force
take big
change
boy
to
stairs.
scheduling or anything else." President Joe Biden speaking out on the incident as well once again.
The assassination attempt is contrary to everything we stand for as a nation. Everything. It's not who we are as a nation. It's not America. And we cannot allow this to happen.
I'm sick of him telling me what America
Fire
is.
Chief Corey Comparator was killed
man,
while attending the Butler County
ridiculous.
rally. His sister posting this photo on Facebook saying, "My baby brother had just turned 50.
I mean, man, I just turned 50, man. Like,
another life. He had kids.
I feel with this guy, man. You know what I mean? Like,
I feel for his family,
look at
right?
this dude,
I
man.
mean, unbelievable, man.
I mean, dude,
just
I gotta take a moment, man, for Corey, man. Here's to you, Corey.
Yeah, dude. Here's your family.
I mean, man, you we won't forget you, man. Like, you may have been the first casualty in this war, my friend.
Well, you know what? I mean, this is how they plan it. Like, it must be amazing to just come out. With the popular, what do we have? 350 million people in this country. So, like, half of them are, well, at least 30% of them are libtards. So, like, you and we're going to talk about the rhetoric later on. But when you like are, have a large platform and you can go out there and say that Trump's Hitler and that he's a threat to democracy and he's going to ruin all our lives, with the 150 million people that like are on your side, you can pretty much convinced. I mean, they don't even have to plan this. They can just put the idea out in the ethos, and they know someone out of all those people is going to be crazy enough to go for it, or depressed enough, or had a bad day enough, wife left her. Who knows, man? I mean, we don't know anything about this kid.
I don't know.
It just seems a little weird. I know a bunch of 20-year-olds, like nephews and stuff like that are 22, 23, and they don't. They're lazy, dude. They're not going out shooting nobody, dude. I can't. They don't want to hurt anything. It's very weird, dude. And I don't like how they're trying to make him into a Republican. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I don't know. We know he donated to a Democratic PAC. You know what I mean? Like progressive fund. And where a 20-year-old puts his money, that's what he cares about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Not what he registers for.
Yeah. Not what he registers for, because $15 to him is probably.
All you know is his mom probably registered for him. She was like, "I'm going to make him a Republican."
Yeah.
Yeah. Now this guy's dead because this kid had a.
Rest in peace, Corey.
Yeah, seriously.
Just turned 50.
Corey loved his community, and most especially, Corey loved his family.
Former First Lady Melania Trump posting this statement on X, calling the country to ascend above the hate, the vitriol, and the simple-minded ideas that ignite violence. President Joe Biden is echoing those calls for unity, as are many of his fellow Democrats, saying it's time to stop calling for him to step down out of concern for his debate performance or...
It's all about me. It's about me.
Nice time to be like, oh, can I turn the spotlight off me now, please?
Yeah, is this a wag the dog? Did they just have him shot so they can
stop
change
talking
the
about
news
how
cycle?
freaking senile he is?
Yeah.
Oh my
He's like,
God.
did we plan this? Did it work? I'm not sure what happened.
That's kind of gross.
Yeah, he's an idiot, dude. God, he's such an idiot. I mean, he's
always got to make it about you, don't you, Joe?
And he's worse than an idiot. He's an idiot now, but he was an evil person before he was an idiot. Now he's just too dumb to be evil, or too incompetent.
Right.
You got to have some
It's like
confidence.
you can call Trump a liar, but we can't call him a liar because he doesn't know truth from fiction, because he doesn't know what fucking reality is.
No, he was a bus driver and
a
lifeguard.
He fought off a gang with a chain.
He grew up in Jewish,
he was
Haitian.
Wasn't he a professor of law somewhere too?
No, he said he won a prestigious award.
Prestigious
top
award,
percentage
top
of his class, and he was the bottom of his class. Never won shit. Yeah. Then he plagiarized
Didn't he drive an 18-wheeler too?
Dude, yeah. He grew up in the Jewish, Palestinian, Latino. He grew up in all the communities. This guy, the funny thing is, I was born right down the street from where he. I was born in Wilmington, Delaware.
You're Delaware people.
I wasn't, and my dad was born in Scranton. I mean, we've been over this before.
Yeah.
There's not that large of a diverse community in Scranton. Dude. There's blacks in Wilmington, and then white people everywhere else. Now, I haven't lived there for 30 years, 40 years, but you know what I mean. I mean, it wasn't diverse. There wasn't a huge Latino population, unless I don't know where it was. I mean, it's not a huge state. They weren't hiding them. It wasn't that diverse.
Especially back in those days, it's like
No, it was white suburbia. We were like a suburb of Philadelphia, basically. Yeah.
I don't know what Delaware does. It seems like they just have a bunch of really bad credit card companies that.
Well, they don't have
that seem to have really high rates and just prey on people with shitty credit.
It's either that they have no income tax.
There's something going on with that.
No, there's a tax thing. I remember there's no sales tax in Delaware. Like when I moved to Virginia, I was like, it says 99 cents, and they were like, $1.06, and I'm like, yeah, but it says 99 cents, and they were like, tax. I was like, tax? What's that? Like we didn't have sales tax, and I think that's why they all incorporate in Delaware.
All right, so this is good. This clip's kind of tough to watch, but I think it's worthwhile, and I think it's a necessary thing to endure a bit, because this is a perspective from people that were in the crowd behind Trump, and now we've seen Trump and getting shot and him going down. We've seen that clip a lot, but I haven't really seen this, like the people behind him that took fire and their reactions. And for all you dipshits that want to say this was staged, watch this.
Yeah, okay? I think the gunman.
So they're all in on it, right, buddy? You know what I mean? Like all these people. This is all staged. The brains on the seats on the bleachers is fake.
It's a blood pill.
Yeah. It's a giant blood pill. It's all chunky and
it's
gross.
They made that with them.
So, we'll,
chocolate syrup.
But I do think I don't know, man. I just want to show this because, for one, thank you for storyful news and weather. Because I haven't seen this anywhere.
No, this is a different video side. Like the shooter's basically behind us. or like over here, like
Yeah, it's a really
behind the guy filming.
Interesting perspective, man. And
it's actually kind of the flight,
and it's really visceral. You really feel the fear in the crowd and how they're reacting, and it's just. Wow.
Take a look at that chart. Take a look at the arrow on the bottom. See the big the red arrow, right? So that's when I left office. That was the lowest point, and that comes right from the government services, comes right out of Border Patrol. Take a look at that. So that arrow is the lowest amount of illegal immigration ever in recorded history into our country. And then the worst president in the history of our country took over. And look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people.
So this point has been shot.
Oh, so the guys over there. Oh, no,
What were you saying?
No, this is weird because I thought the bullet came from that way. I guess this is a different camera angle.
Yeah, I think it's a totally different angle.
Yeah.
Like one is coming from this side, I think. You know,
yeah.
And then this is from the other side. But yeah, so this is the crowd right now. So you hear people screaming. You know, he's been hitting the head. He's hitting the head. There's no aid coming up to these poor people forever. I mean, they actually drag the body out themselves.
You know, I think the cops gonna get him.
What's that?
I think the cops grab him.
Do they?
Yeah, I'm pretty
finally.
sure. Yeah. I think that's who carries him out. Yeah, there's a cop right there. There's like state police, I think.
But look how orderly they're leaving. I mean, you know, there's not a stampede. Nobody's getting trampled.
Yeah, this isn't like when you see gunfire open up like in Chicago.
Yeah,
at one of those
some
illegal street races or something.
And like there's people just trampling old people going down an escalator. Like
Yeah. Well, that's
dial, man.
The left.
Maybe it's because all these people are mostly old. They don't move that fast. They're kind of like, what happened, man? God damn. I was in World War II shit.
Yeah, I bet you there's a couple guys that are like, well, let's go get our guns.
Well, that guy got right in the head. You see this guy right here? It's like, that son of a bitch.
And his family's there? So he's on top of his family?
I guess this is his family. This guy's trying to perform CPR right here.
Yeah, and they got to know he's dead. Like, if he got hit in the head.
Yeah, you got to try. This cop's still telling people to stay down.
Yeah, I know. They said that they were told two different things.
Yeah, because obviously there's a confusion that maybe still be shots being fired.
So, you know.
But look, oh my God, yeah.
Give us a pause real quick.
See his bloody.
Because this is what we were talking about earlier. We were like, okay, is this a failure of them not having enough people there, but what it appears to be, and you'll see even when they like rush the stage, they don't know what they're doing. Does anybody know what they're doing?
There's always mayhem in these situations.
I know, but this is what these people trained to do. That's what they go to work for.
I mean, I get it, but I mean, you can practice all you want. When the real thing happens, it's always a little crazy. But
sure, but
I don't know. But I just commend all these people for being so orderly and really composed incredibly in this. There's blood all over these people. Everybody.
Yeah,
this poor lady's got blood all over
dead.
his arm. This guy's got. I mean, there's obviously blood just got sprayed everywhere in these people.
But they don't know the shooter's dead either.
Yeah,
probably,
no,
right?
they don't know. Nobody knows shit. You know what I mean? Like all they know is some guy just got his head blown off right next to him.
I gotta tell you, I'm getting the hell out of there.
Look at this poor dude.
Yeah,
he's covered in blood. He's sitting right next. He's in full on shock.
Oh, dude.
He's trying to help other people.
Yeah,
trying to tell them to stay down. Yeah, look how well people are. They're caring about each other, man. This is a guy, look at this guy. He's on top of like his kid or something right here.
Yeah, I noticed at the end of this video, there's like a lady they're carrying out. Maybe that was his wife or something.
Yeah. Because Trump supporters are a bunch of racist, terrible people.
Yeah,
these are the deplorables right here.
Yeah.
The people that actually care for each other in a moment of crisis. Yeah. They pull together and look out for each other. Yeah, they're deplorable.
Probably all got jobs. Probably all pay taxes. You know. The deplorable.
I love some of these old timers are just like, God damn.
Yeah, this is probably pretty exciting for him, to be honest. And I don't mean to make light of that.
Yeah,
it's
doesn't know that her shit or go sailing.
Yeah, what's up with the, what?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, was that another lady who got shot?
So obviously either she's shot or she passed out or something.
Yeah, but they said there was 3 people.
No, but there were 2 guys.
That dude's helping again.
All 3 of them were dudes that got shot.
Okay, so that wasn't one of them.
So yeah, I don't know what's happening with her, but
dude,
come this way.
I would understand if somebody passed out or lost it, or she might be the wife of
That's
Corey.
what I was thinking. I don't know.
She's just completely like distraught and losing it. Shit.
It's pretty emotional, man. That gets me a little worked
Oh
up.
my god, yes, man.
I'm gonna get that picture.
We'll get that picture, buddy. All
right. Well, that's a different perspective. I didn't see. Yeah, this is really fun too to watch them have to try to pretend like they care. Like this isn't like, I mean, at least the retards on TikTok are telling us how they feel about it. They're all like, yeah, you should have got better. You should have been a better shot. And you're like, you people are just evil. And I thought that was illegal. Like I always thought, like calling for,
right, that's firing a freaking
or no, but like anything with the president, there's certain things you can't say. You can't say like, and I'm not gonna say it because I don't want to get arrested. But I mean, that's like kind of saying it, I guess. Like they definitely just need a visit because first of all, they're all brave as shit on TikTok. Send a couple troopers to the house and they'll be crying like little bitches outside, like whining. Oh, I didn't mean to do it. I was just posting a TikTok, and you're like, well, you're going to jail for 10 years. Sorry.
Right.
Shit, that one guy went to jail for a meme. I don't remember his name, but he made that meme about Hillary Clinton, and yeah, he got locked in the clink for years on that one. A meme.
I don't know. So she runs the Secret Service here. This is Kimberly Cheadle.
Do you think she was the best man for the job?
I think she feels that way, I'm sure. But she's really just going to tell you about how into diversity she is and like how DEI is so important in hiring for the Secret Service. Which seems to be like,
it's hard to even say. Dude.
Look, we're all for diversity, okay? I want the best person for the job. I don't care what color you are, what sex you are. All that shit really doesn't matter. If you're the best person, that's who I want, okay? But, this lady makes a point to be like, we're picking people, diversity first.
Sure.
Skills and acumen for the job.
We can teach them that, Bill.
Distant second. Right. Yeah, exactly. Like, there's nothing, innate about, being a good shot or maybe, tall or strong enough to be able to or able to block the president because the president's 6'4" and you're or 6'2" and you're 5'1", you know what I mean? But hey.
Yeah, I'd hire sumo wrestlers. I put them all in like really big like armor.
Yeah.
And I would just have
armor and all the blubber.
Yeah.
There's no getting
that would
through
be my Secret Service. It would be all I'd hire those guys.
And Trump can just bounce around in between them. It'd be like a big bounce house.
Absolutely. I think it's a good move.
Disgusting. All right.
I don't know.
Yeah, let's hear Kimberly Cheadle just try to justify her bullshit.
So I think this agency does an extraordinary job of developing leaders. From a very early stage, we hire agents and officers, and we put them in positions of authority, and we enable them to make decisions, and that does develop some great quality leaders in our agency.
Developed what you saw just now.
Yeah, let's not go find.
And I look forward to a day where we're able to talk about this agency and whoever is leading this agency and not have to distinguish, they're the second female or the fifth or the sixth, and that diversity is just part of this agency, and it's not even thought about. So I think this agency does an extraordinary job of developing leaders from a very early.
So Kimberly Cheadle, right? You're under fire, babe.
Yeah. She had, they from what I understand, they didn't do their press conference. And then they came out today and said they're not going to say anything. They're not talking about this at all. This the shit that's going on in our country right now. You got FBI, heads of FBI, head of the CIA. They go before Congress. They say, I'm just not going to talk about it. They don't have to. I'm going to use this in my daily life, Bill. Anytime you ask me a hard question, I'm just going to be like, no, I don't want to discuss that. That's still an open case, and President says I don't discuss that. And my boss be like, did you use all the gas? I'll be like, I don't want to speak. I don't want to talk about that.
I can't talk about that right now.
I'm just not going to talk about it. Dude. It's not that I can't. I'm just not because President.
Because
And I'm setting it now.
Because it's Fifth Amendment.
It's the biggest bunch of bullshit in the world. These guys work for us, and they're telling us what. Well, you can't know. You know what?
I don't want to incriminate myself.
Yeah, well, that's what they should be saying. But instead, they're saying nothing to see here, guys. We did the best job we could. This 20-year-old is like a ninja, and he has powers of invisibility, and he made it on the roof without. You know, I mean, they've obviously failed. Come out and say it. The guy got shot. That's your job, is for him not to get shot.
You know, when Trump said in the debate that Biden never fires anybody, well, I get it because he doesn't really, you know, really lead the government or anything like he has other people do. So, of course, he doesn't fire anybody.
Well, you said
he really doesn't do much of anything other than, you know.
And try to keep his pants clean.
Just, yeah, right. You know, trying to shit his pants and make sure he gets his ice cream after dinner by 6. You know what I mean?
Do you think he drinks Ensure?
You know, some boost.
I bet she's got a little boost in there. And then
he could probably gets 11 o'clock boost.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
A little after this nap.
And then he gets, you know, the Hunter Biden boost.
Yeah,
you know,
he gets the 8 o'clock boost.
Yeah, he gets that real boost.
Drink a little baby blood. Sick bastard.
That snoot. But all right, so this guy is pretty interesting. He actually looks at this from a tactical perspective, more about like where the Secret Service should have set up and what would be typical of how to evaluate a scene where the president's going to speak, and how the background should have been checked, and how the area should have been basically surveyed and monitored. What would be typically done. So it starts off with this guy, Tim McMillan, who is a retired law enforcement officer, and he has some good insights about the Secret Service acted and what was protocol.
Retired law enforcement officer who has extensive experience, having worked 5 presidential details in the past, said this on X. They basically formed a bulletproof barrier around him. They didn't let him stand up until after they knew the shooter was down. They would have gotten communications through their radio devices in their earpieces confirming this. At this moment, the agents...
So, you know, he's saying that they did a good job as far as this goes.
Okay, but here's an interesting thought. Okay, they didn't bring him up until they knew the shooter was down. How did they know there was only one shooter? They didn't know that guy was there.
Well, he's saying
did they know he was
he's
there?
saying that they got it from the radio or whatever. But right. So they got it from a radio call that we got that shooter.
Yeah,
you know, but they don't know.
Did
if
they know
other
shooters. Did they know there was only one shooter?
Why would they? How could they know that? Right? Yeah.
Well,
they were
in on it.
Are not just protecting Trump, but they're also checking his body for additional injuries and assessing his condition to see if he's ambulatory or not, to see if he can move on his own. Because when someone's adrenaline is pumping, shock can prevent them from knowing if they have multiple injuries. It's actually not their job to return fire immediately. And that's because, meanwhile, the Secret Service counter-sniper team, located here on this rooftop, returned fire within moments.
Yeah, so
boom.
So they're calling this 509 feet from this building to here. Where he was, and the stage is kind of right in front of here where this arrow is.
That's
right
so
here.
close, dude.
Yeah.
It's so close.
It's almost like, you know, why would you allow him to have a rally here in this wide open space? You know what I mean? When there's just, it seems like really hard to police. But, you know, if you did, you would especially watch this, right?
Well, here's the thought, too. Why wouldn't you have a stage, right? You could block in 3 sides of it, right? Just have walls on 3 sides.
Put some barriers up.
Just on 3 sides, so it doesn't even look intrusive. And that means you only got to pay attention to what's in front of the president at that point, because you're not making a shot from the side at that. You know, you can't see the president.
So there was just this 360 view of him that was
like
danger,
even just bulletproof plexiglass or whatever they got. You know, so the crowd can.
From now on, there's something that has to be done. He can't be going into situations like this.
No, he's going to need the Pope mobile. Remember that thing the Pope used to go around after he got blasted? Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna have to put up the thing. I think wasn't they gonna even put one up for JFK, but something like it was gonna rain or something. And
well, JFK was killed by the CIA, so they probably were like, "Look, stand down."
Yeah.
Like,
it's gonna be a sunny day.
They brought the Secret Service some donuts, and they were like, "You guys sit this one out," and boom, gone. And then Johnson was it Johnson? Yeah, Johnson.
But I mean, look at this, man. I mean, this seems just like ridiculous. I mean, why you would not have somebody either on this roof, people all around this perimeter watching if anybody did get around this area? Why this Yahoo, this ginger dude with the, could have a party, just roll up over here like, oh, you know what I mean? And then like, oh shit, there's some dude scaling the building right here, getting on the roof. Like the fact that nobody was even questioning this gang, like just hanging out. I don't know.
The whole thing.
Like
and eliminated the gunman here 130 meters away with a shot to the head. About 16 seconds after the shooting first started, the final gunshot can be heard, presumably from the counter-sniper team. Tim McMillan put it this way, saying, quote, "People have wondered, how could the counter-snipers in the video not have seen the would-be assassin prior to him getting off a shot? This is because the area of responsibility for those counter-snipers on the roof behind Trump was very likely in the extended tier. Essentially, they were scanning for threats a great distances well beyond the roughly 150 meters the threat appeared. This is evidenced by the...
But that makes no sense. I mean, that rooftop is an immediate threat. Somebody had to be responsible for that.
fact that the elevated counter-sniper has to dramatically drop his line of sight to respond to the shooter. 27 seconds after the first shot was fired, we see the next line of defense reach their positions. Members of the Secret Service more heavily armed counter-assault team, seen here in full black uniform, sporting SR-16 suppressed rifles, establish a security perimeter on the stage. They're looking for potential threats that are close quarters. We can see them scanning the up-close rows of the crowd from 0 to 100 meters because they know the counter-sniper teams are scanning for threats beyond 100 meters. We can see the agents in multicam set up security facing the rear, which shows the tactical discipline of this team, because not every single agent is facing the direction of the incoming fire. There's a natural tendency in human beings to key in on and get tunnel vision on the direction where shots are coming from, but it takes discipline to establish that 360-degree security. This is necessary because they don't know if there might still be another threat out there at this point. Secret Service...
I hear you, but still, I mean, this guy got off 7, 8 shots or whatever from a really obvious spot.
It just seems like that. I feel like they would have had their own sniper on that roof, and he would have bumped into him.
Right.
Like,
this is my snipe spot. What?
Yeah.
Wait, did you get assigned here? Where are your credentials? Yeah.
I know. It just seems like a perfect location.
Your vest isn't black. You're out of here.
I guess they did, but they're saying there's shortages. They don't have enough people, and they've asked for more. I heard, I think somebody from Trump's campaign said they've been asking for a long time because he doesn't have a full presidential detail. And they said because he's not, like the Biden administration's been downplaying it and slow rolling it and saying that because he's not officially.
Right, because he's not the official nominee
that he doesn't get this. And the way they spend money, they're worried about a couple more agents. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they're like, oh, our budget's going to be over. We can't.
I don't know, man.
Nah, it's bullshit, dude. They let this happen.
Crazy.
I'm telling you, I'm going conspiracy. The more I watch.
Call him Hitler. Call him deplorable. Call him, the threat to democracy. But don't give him enough Secret Service detail. Let's give him the bare minimum and put him out in the middle of a field. Okay.
Got like day laborers out there.
Were originally established in 1979, and this is the first time in history that I believe they've responded to a shooting incident involving a former or current president. Trump then told his security service detail to wait. He raised his fist and pumped it at the crowd. He shouted, "Fight," as the crowd chanted USA back. When asked about this moment...
It's so incredible, dude. I just got to sit here and just take this in, man.
I was actually surprised to see these pictures on like CNN and MSNBC.
Yeah, they just can't.
I didn't think.
I mean, they're so amazing. Like they can't even we got to run this.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Because in the
stock
end,
market's up today.
It's really about ratings. Right?
Yeah, they don't care. Dude. I
mean, they really just they'll take anything they can get.
McMillan said, quote, "As for letting him pose for the photo op, there's always a degree of conflict between the personal protection detail and the political asset. One's entire mission is to protect their asset. The other's is to be political. I also saw firsthand when then Vice President Biden deviated from the pre-planned path to shake people's hands during a 2013 visit to Savannah. The agents on the ground then escorted Trump to a predetermined evacuation point roughly 50 meters to the rear of the stage in a reinforced armored truck. At this point, roughly 2 minutes after the first shots rang out, he's evacuated and his motorcade then sped to a hospital where he received treatment. Swarms of additional units then make their way to the stage. As a result of the assassination attempt, one attendee was killed and 2 others were injured who are still in critical condition from the rounds that missed the president. This is a satellite image of the venue where the rally...
You know, it'd be something if it was just the deranged acts of one individual. But we know there's a lot more to this than that.
Oh, and there's so many people that, like, especially now that, like, I mean, this guy's catching some shit online mostly because he missed. Like, most of the people are angry on the left at this guy, but he's going to be a bit of a hero. And another one of these, like, loners is going to, you know, they're going to be in a chat room with probably some ex-FBI guys or maybe a few old spies in there. And they're going to be like, hey, dude, you know, it'd be badass if you shot the president. And guess what? They're going to go try to shoot the president again. I mean, I'm surprised this kid must have been a hunter or something, dude, because, like, he missed, but not by much.
Yeah, no, he obviously has a good shot.
I mean, and that's not a hard shot for a sniper, but for a 20-year-old kid, I mean, I don't know if I could make that shot.
I don't know what training he had or whatever.
Maybe he's just playing a lot of Call of Duty.
Yeah, see, there you go.
It was held at Butler Farms Showgrounds near Butler, Pennsylvania. It's a wide open outdoor field with ground level and rooftop visibility that extends over 100 meters in every direction. The gunman was able to somehow evade security and managed to get onto this rooftop here. It's about 420 feet or 130 meters away from the podium and stage where Trump was giving his speech. He was on a one-story building with a pitch that's probably about 25 feet in elevation.
So this is all local cops, you say, though, right?
Yeah, that's what I heard, that outside that perimeter, the local cops were responsible for the security.
Well, you ever seen local cops at, like, a fair or a concert?
Right.
They're not, like, they're having fun. Like, they look at this as, like, I'm getting paid and I get to hear, you know. So I wonder if they were, like, just milling around having a good time, because if you've seen cops at concerts before, that's generally what they're
these are just fair cops.
Yeah. I mean, they're making a little OT.
It looks like the Secret Service
body armor wouldn't have helped him.
We're using what
he was taking the dome
version of the bolt-action Remington 700 with a suppressor firing a 300 Winchester Magnum round with a powerful variable scope.
It's a big
difference. I mean, that's why that. I mean, just imagine that thing came within inches of his head, man. I mean, it took his, right on top of his ear.
This is the type of rifle that you'd be
would
looking
explode his
for extended
cabeza.
range threats beyond 150 meters. This video posted on X of the counter sniper team has 15 million views, with people disagreeing on whether or not the would-be assassin took the first shot or if the counter sniper team fired first. The way I look at the security measures are that they're a tiered and layered approach. The sniper team is one of the last lines.
I don't know why the guy didn't shoot them first.
If they're pulling triggers, that means a lot of
I think
other
he's
steps
like, I
have
better
already
take the shot now when I have it, right? You know.
God, can you imagine what's going through that crazy kid's phone? I mean, is there anything? You know, the simplest answer is generally
brain has been melted by leftist propaganda.
How thin were they spread?
God only
In Tim
knows.
McMillan's analysis, he stated, quote, based on limited details at this point, in my opinion, the security breakdown occurred in the middle tier, which would likely include
the middle
law
tier
enforcement who were supposed to be assigned to the area near the outbuildings. History was at a
Look at that, though, the bullet, man.
that was determined
That's crazy.
by less than an inch in a fraction of a second. This building that the gunman took up a firing position on is not a part of the Butler Farm Show perimeter. It lies just outside and belongs to a different company called AGR International. They're a supplier of automation equipment for glass and plastic packaging, but that could be one potential reason as to why this happened, because it was outside the perimeter of the event. But beyond a few trees, there's nothing between the president, just a wide open field that separates the two. The Secret Service advance team would have created a plan weeks in advance that normally would have identified every single elevated potential sniper position within line of sight.
Yeah, number one, that would be
number one. That's some serious, like, killing field, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, straight up, like, like they complained about with JFK, like why they took this path, you know what I mean? And they took this path, it was like really exposed path, and they've argued, like, why would they do that?
I mean, you think you at least, like, have motion sensors up on these roofs, right? Nobody should be on a roof when the president's speaking. I don't care if the roofer's there. You got to take the day off. You know what I mean? You're not going to fix the roof today.
No.
So, like, if they just had some kind of, like,
They usually, they anywhere a president's, when I worked at Charlie's, we had John Ashcroft come in, and the Secret Service came and talked to all of us and did background checks, and we decided, like, where he was going to go in and where he was going to leave, and they vetted everything, so it's pretty thorough usually. It seemed like,
I mean, luckily,
no expense. Did multiple bomb sweeps in advance and checked to ensure the building was empty the night before. This is called a sterilizing operation.
Was it empty in the morning, though? I mean,
agents were thorough and detailed. However, it's possible that the former president was not granted the same size security service for his detail or security funding. My understanding is that former President Trump would have had an increased security detail available to him as soon as he officially became the Republican nominee this week. Information is still coming out, and we still have
Which
a
is
lot
interesting
to learn
that it
in the
happened.
coming
Like,
days
does this
and
kid
weeks.
know
Right.
this?
But normally those
2
buildings,
days
especially
before,
ones
you know
that
what I mean, he
have
actually
close
becomes the
proximity,
nominee, you know, like
would
his
have had access
convention.
restricted. Which
Like
is
this
why
is the,
this
this is the
eyewitness
chance right
account
before he
is all
becomes
the
the
more
nominee
concerning.
when
We noticed the guy
the protection
crawling
was going to be
arm, you know,
Right,
bear
and a
crawling
crazed,
up the roof.
still,
a crazed lone
limited.
gunman wouldn't have known this. I mean, I don't think I mean,
right.
I don't know who would know this.
That
you know?
knows that yeah.
Unless
I
he
mean,
was
I haven't heard
told.
about this until just recently that Trump had asked for more security,
Right,
and
right.
it is the whole thing about him not being the nominee yet
Right.
is why he didn't get the extra security. Which seems like it's like if I was Trump, I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to hire private. I mean,
Yeah, we're heading down the rabbit hole here, but it's looking. There's just too much. When you got so many weird things, it's just like, well,
so this ginger cat's partying over here, with his crew.
So we're
This
standing
guy's
there,
been drinking
we're
since
pointing, we're pointing
10
at the
o'clock in the
guy
morning.
crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle. We could clearly
maybe
see
he's-
the
maybe
rifle.
he's hunting.
Absolutely.
Why didn't you
There
do
were
something
thousands
about it,
of people
buddy?
at this event,
Yeah.
though, and this early
know?
testimony is still being verified. The House Oversight Committee has already called on Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle to testify to Congress about what went wrong.
Too much DEI.
Really, at this point, we're not going to make that assessment.
Oh, they're not
Things
gonna talk
need to
about
occur
it. We're not gonna talk about it,
investigatively
Bill.
To make those determinations
No,
of
can't do it.
what,
Yeah.
if any, failures there were.
The Department of Homeland
We don't
Security
talk about
There may have been
2024
failures, but
assessment identified
assess them.
several
As
rising
policy,
threats
we
inside
don't talk
America
about our
this year,
mistakes,
A lot of
including
policies
foreign
going
and
on here.
domestic
Yeah, you can
terrorism
see we have
and
policies.
political extremism.
Please read pamphlet
The report
page 3.
states over the past year, both domestic violent extremists and homegrown violent
It's
extremists,
clearly in
inspired
paragraph
by
4
foreign
of page
terrorist
3 of the
organizations,
terrorism
have engaged
handbook.
in violence in reaction to social political events, motivated by a mix of conspiracy theories, personalized grievances, and enduring racial, ethnic, religious, and anti-government ideologies, often shared online. At first, I was shocked that this even happened in our country. It would be the first time a U.S. president or presidential candidate was injured in an attempted assassination since President Ronald Reagan was shot in 1981. But maybe I shouldn't have been that surprised.
You
According
really
to
shouldn't
this
have.
New York Times nationwide poll, 10% of those surveyed said that the use of force is justified to prevent Donald Trump from becoming president. A third of those gave that answer also said they owned guns.
Disgusting.
That's why the next major question will be, what was the shooter's motive? There are many different potential motivations, as we've already seen them play out around the world in recent assassination attempts. The United States Intelligence Agency recently helped foil a Russian plot to assassinate the CEO of German company Rheinmetall that's providing artillery and vehicles used against Russia. There was also an assassination attempt against the Slovak prime minister for political purposes. The FBI, who's
Yeah, I
heading
remember
up the
that guy.
investigation,
Got
released
shot, didn't he?
information that the shooter's a 20-year-old white male from Pennsylvania. I'm not going to say his name publicly on this platform because I don't want to give air or notoriety to an individual like that. But finding out the motive for law enforcement officials will be an important step to making sure there aren't additional threats. If it does turn out to be politically motivated, it could be a disgruntled Republican or Democrat, which would have an impact on where this goes from here. I definitely should not have been that shocked after seeing things like this New York City theatrical group, Shakespeare in the Park, doing a rendition of President Trump getting stabbed to death in modern-day version of Julius Caesar while he was in office. It wouldn't even
didn't
be
know about
the
that one.
first politically motivated assassination attempt on Trump. In 2016, someone tried to pull a Secret Service agent's service pistol on Trump, but he was stopped and arrested.
Look at that.
This is disturbing to me, and I kind of needed to get this off my chest. I needed to say something about this.
This kid did do a
so
good
that
job.
Yeah,
I feel like
great
it's
job.
not just
Thanks for doing the research
bottled
for
up
us, buddy.
inside.
Appreciate
I
it.
think
Yeah,
some
much
other
appreciated,
people-
my friend.
Thank you.
Thanks for a really good, even-handed, just portrayal.
Yeah,
of,
that should be
what
on the
happened.
news, man.
A lot of good information there.
Fantastic. You don't know what side he's on.
Yeah.
Which you're supposed to get from your reporters.
Yeah, you could just tell he was just like, I can't even believe this is happening. You can tell he's a younger guy, like he doesn't remember Reagan.
Yeah,
you know?
Reagan was crazy, man.
So, but
That's funny because I kind of grew up thinking like shooting the president was kind of normal. I was because you knew about JFK.
Well, you're right. I mean, you know, we were young and we'd already heard JFK went down,
right?
And, you know,
and then Reagan right after
Reagan,
it.
so it was
a couple of years, you know.
I mean, you know, John Lennon got shot. I mean, you know, people were getting shot. Yeah, he shot him right outside the Dakota, out of his apartment building
in New York City, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Which is weird. Like, what was he doing? I mean, like, he was kind of a communist sympathizer and all that. I don't think
it wasn't political. You know what I mean? He was kind of obsessed
okay,
with Lennon, and just was kind of just disgruntled, weird person. That
he
was
liked
just
the Beatles, and they weren't getting back together.
I think he just it was kind of almost like he wanted to do something important because he felt like his whole life he was kind of reading Catching the Rye and getting that Holden Caulfield, like nothing kind of really matters. I'm just really insignificant kind of thing, and I think he just wanted to do something. And he was mad at John Lennon.
I just want to feel something.
Was somebody, you know?
I cut myself because I want to feel.
Yeah.
Very interesting, man. The kid did a good job, but I think there's a lot of questions, dude. I just don't understand how, like, or I mean, maybe, you know, I guess it's possible that because he does so many of these rallies that it gets a little passe and nothing's happened yet, right? You haven't even heard about like people getting caught trying to get guns in, right? So maybe they've gotten a little complacent. I mean, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Mark David Chapman.
That's what it was, yeah, Chapman. Yeah, Hinckley was the one who shot
Reagan.
He just got out, I think. Isn't he out of prison? He's doing he's playing music. He does. He's got like an album now. It's just nobody's gonna play with him in the band, dude. No. He's got. I think it's Hinckley. Yeah, he's played it. He tried to play a concert in New York City, and I think it got there was so many people outraged by it that he ended up canceling it. But yeah, he did an album. He plays like acoustic guitar. They told him, you know, I think he spent a lot. I don't think he even went to prison. He spent all this time in the mental institution.
Jeez.
And then they let him out.
Well, man, I mean, you know, this picture, though, I mean, you know, you can say what you want about Trump's cognitive or, you know, Biden's cognitive decline, and Trump's old and he's been, you know, they've already argued about his cognitive decline. But the state of mind, the wherewithal of this man to go through this shocking, you know, life-threatening event, almost getting freaking head blown off, and to do this, right, to have the state of mind to realize this is an important moment that needs to be captured. The instincts of this man are just incredible. You know what I mean? Like they are second to none. That he would have the state of mind to say, like, to shirk off the Secret Service and not just try to go run into the limo and get out of there.
And
and to do this.
The media tried to portray it like that's what he did. Like, I mean, you've seen some of the early news articles that he fell on the stage.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
there was popping noises, and they took him off the stage.
They waited to the very last minute to actually say it was an assassination attempt on them, or attempt on Trump, until they just could not even. And there's no way to deny it. But I mean, this is definitely this is World War II. This is America in its heyday, coming into our own.
Iwo
You know, this is Iwo Jima. That's right. This is when we're about to take Japan down. We're moving toward the main island, which is one of the last islands we took before we defeated them finally. You know, a lot of GIs died to take this little piece of sand, and you know, and here we are. We fought for this, and this is where we're at now. Where, you know, we're holding on to this flag right now, barely by the skin of our teeth, and this man right here is not, you know, in a moment where his life was on the line, he's going to stand up.
And then he talks about the families of the guys who died first. Like, the guys.
Yeah, I mean,
they say he's arrogant, but he doesn't look. He doesn't.
Man, I've had my doubts about Trump plenty, and I know he's. Look, none of us are perfect. You know, he's got issues just like all we are. But all his issues have been exposed. It's like nobody has been exposed like this man, and we know he has his predilections. He likes women.
Sure, and he's a little arrogant, but it doesn't seem like he's completely obsessed with himself. Because
this guy could be just golfing and hanging out with Melania and whatever. You know,
with his 18-year-old son,
and this is what he's doing. This man is risking his life now on a daily basis.
God, he's got to feel like king right now, though.
I mean,
I wonder how he slept. You think he was like shaking?
Probably nothing better than this. You know, this is. I mean, man, the life that he's led, and this is him at 80 years old.
Wow. Yeah. Think about it.
And just think, man. Like, you could go through your whole life and think that the best or the most important things in my life are behind me.
Yeah.
And then 80 years old, this.
Yeah. No, it's crazy, dude. I mean, you're a huge real estate guy. Then you're a TV show guy. Yeah. You're the talk of the town. Everybody knows you.
But I mean, it's like, this is good. You know, this is just a good thing to remember. I mean, even for me getting older, like, you're not done, man. Like, you know what I mean? Until you're in the fucking ground, you still have a part to play in this world, and you could do something as amazing. Maybe not this, but you know what I mean. Like probably not, but you know what I mean. Like
but you can still do something.
There's still some amazing things that you can do. Don't never give up, because this is what the face looks like of never giving up.
I'll tell you what, man.
Awesome.
This is like when my buddy called me. Like I didn't even know I was at work, and I get a call on the way home, or I get a text from my friend, and he's like, "Are you watching this shit?" And I'm like, "Watching what, dude?" And he's like, "Trump just got shot," and I was like, "What?" And yeah, dude. So I hurried home, man. And I was just like, "Oh, I know what the hell's going on here," and I'll tell you what, it's scary, and we talked about it earlier, man, and like. When you see these libs that they're out of their minds on TikTok talking about like crying because the guy wasn't a better shot, and you're like,
yeah,
and you know, what do we do with these people if Trump gets elected?
I don't know.
Are they just going to be you know, thorns in our side?
I don't know. I mean, all we can do is hopefully, you know, some will hopefully see the light. You know what I mean, and be what is it? Black pilled? I forget what the color pill is.
Red pill, I guess.
Red pill.
Yeah, black pill means you think everything's gonna
be terrible.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and then red pill, like you woke up.
You're to like.
And then the blue pill, you want to stay asleep and be a libtard.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Anyway, but look at this, Elon Musk, right? You know what I mean? Like this guy's voted Democrat his whole life, you know, pretty much like I have, and you know he's like, if yes, I will follow you back. I fully endorse President Trump.
Well, that's not him up there. That's a parody.
But I mean, well, but we do know this is true. Like
that
you know,
one
like
is,
this one, this one is like.
Yeah.
This is Elon Musk. Like he is fully endorsed Trump at this point,
which is crazy because he was kind of standoff. Like he didn't want to do it.
No, he was not gonna. He didn't come out and say that until.
And there's another guy who could have a cake-ass, easy life going on, and he's putting himself out there and dealing with a lot of investigations because, you know, he. I mean, dude. First of all, we wouldn't even be able to talk about this if he didn't buy Twitter. There would be no place. It would only be on Rumble. Would be the only place where you would be able to talk to anybody. Anybody would be able to, they would have said, no, you can't say Joe Biden was involved in this. You can't question anything if they don't like the narrative. Like, you know, you're supposed to be asking questions. That's what you are. You're a journalist. By definition, journalists ask people questions, don't they? I mean, that's how you write about stuff. You got to get, you know, you got to ask the people involved for comment. You got to do, you know, I'm not a journalist, but what I do know is that's kind of what they're supposed to do. But without Elon Musk buying Twitter, there would be. It's amazing. He's done it.
Yeah, I mean, just look at him. He was the darling of the left, you know, with the electric cars
and he had to
all
leave California. That's how bad
and everything else. And yeah, once he started questioning some of their policies and saying, well, maybe that's not the right, turned on him like a freaking snake, man. You know what I mean? And you know now he's basically being ostracized and. Probably
investigated.
Investigated. You know, that's what they do, right? They start the lawfare on you.
The funny thing is they just can't take all, like, usually what they do is they investigate you and make you get a lawyer, and then they take all your money. And then when you're out of money and your lawyer won't defend you anymore because you don't have any more, then they go, hey, you ready for a plea?
Yeah.
And then you plead guilty. They get their commission.
But unfortunately, they took on one of the Earth's richest man.
It's going to be hard to get rid of his cash. Dude.
So he's like, oh, yeah. Okay.
But they're even doing that because they're shorting Tesla on him, dude. They're doing it. Like they're trying to ruin him, and you got to admire a guy because I mean we can sit here and say well, but we don't have a ton to lose, and I mean I guess we do, but you know it's this dude Elon could be doing nothing. He could absolutely be just chilling, like spending his whatever $1 billion he's got, and instead he's taking. I mean he really saved free speech in this country.
And he has to be.
So we're talking kind of about like the vitriol from the left. What's really raised the temperature? Political environment that we're in today, to get to us to this point, right, where people are just calling Trump, you know, they started, you know, he's a dictator, he's going to ruin the democracy's on the line, the Hitler thing, just on and on with this, the level, like, I don't see the right calling anybody on the left Stalin. I don't see them calling him, you know, Mao. I don't, you know, I guess it doesn't have the same, you know, cachet as Hitler, but it's not like these left Democrats haven't killed hundreds of millions of people.
But they flip out when Trump says that if he's not elected, there's going to be a bloodbath in the stock market. And they take that completely out of context. They don't play the beginning part of it. And they flip out, you know, for 2 days straight. They flip out about this stuff. I hate this.
It's just unquestionable at this point that man cannot see public office again. He is not only unfit, he is destructive to our democracy, and he has to be eliminated. It's just unquestionable at this point.
Right. Eliminated.
That's a poor choice of word.
Eliminated. Jen Psaki just shaking her head away.
She kind of looked a little crazy. Like if you watch her, she kind of was like, "Whoa, you went a little deep in on there." And I think they say the shit, and then they come back out and they're like, "Well, I didn't mean it that way. I apologize if somebody took it that way."
Right, but you did.
But they got it out there. It's an ethos.
Yeah,
it's like the reprint. Oh, I'm going to print our retraction.
Like sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, I'll print the retraction on page 8 after everybody reads the headline, and then it doesn't matter because nobody reads the retraction.
Yeah,
but there was that guy. Did you see that little bastard? We were talking about Harry Cizanne or something like that. He's like, I think, maybe 20s, late 20s, and he's a Biden sycophant. The funny thing is, I felt like he was his oration skills were pretty good, considering that he had Biden's balls in his mouth the entire time, dude. But this little kid,
they're very small, and
this little kid is like, he's like,
there's not much left of his balls, so they're easily.
Dude, he would do anything to be like on CNN. I mean, literally anything. Like this kid would pimp himself out for it. It's the most. I've never seen anybody that young with so little integrity.
Incredible. Yeah, well, you see where he gets it, because here's the our president in chief, the big guy.
From the bottom of our heart, Trump is a threat to this nation.
Oh, a threat to the nation.
Threat to the nation.
What? Our economy's going to get better?
Yeah.
He's going to stop a bunch of people from coming across the border? What exactly is he going to do? What did he do in his first term that almost ruined this nation? That's what I don't get. They could say this shit before he was ever president, but we already had him for 4 years. He did none of this stuff. Right. He wasn't a dictator then. He actually let you assholes do too much shit. And yeah, you're right. He's going to clamp down on it, and you're not going to be able to pull the same shit you did on him the first 4 years.
Why wouldn't he? You know what I mean? Like, after what he's done, like, here we go. Defiant Biden tells donors we're done talking about the debate. So he's just so excited to get anything off of the spotlight, the bullseye onto Trump. He says to put the bullseye on Trump.
Yeah, stop messing with me and put the bullseye on Trump. But this is the same thing as saying bloodbath. But nobody has, the right's going, but, and listen, he probably didn't really mean to put the bullseye on him. I don't know. I mean, I don't think Joe Biden knows what the fuck he's saying at any point in his life. But it's, and I'm not going to sit here and be like, that's what caused it. But it's
this is the exact same thing they call out Trump for.
Yeah, the hypocrisy.
This is just ungodly. I'm not even really saying this is just hyperbole, and this bullseye does not. I'm not taking this that meant that Biden just told a shooter to put him in the bullseye and shoot him.
Yeah.
We get this, that this is look, you want the attention off of you, back onto Trump, where it usually is.
He's the enemy. He's Hitler.
And he's really good at it, taking the heat. Yeah. So, I suck at it. Biden sucks at it. So, but right, he can't stand it anymore. To get the, but, bullseye and what happened, the other day. Just,
I feel like hypocrisy with the left is like their weapon. Like, the thing is that they don't care that they're hypocrites. So, once you realize that, you kind of stop calling out them, because it's not something that's important to them. They don't care about integrity. They think they have some moral superiority over everybody. So, they use hypocrisy to make Republicans run around like crazy chickens with their heads cut off, yelling, "Oh my God, can you believe he said that? Look at the hypocrisy! Look at the hypocrisy!" But that makes all the conservatives busy. When they're not looking and they're not doing their job anymore, so they just say crazy shit all the time, fully knowing they don't care. Like I said, they don't have it's for their cause. They can do anything. When you got Hitler, you can do anything.
Yeah, and look what we got here, right? You know what I mean? Like, this is.
You can shoot him. You
beyond
can
the
kill
pale.
Him. Yeah. I mean, what did he do that was so fascist?
Yeah.
They're got no proof. You ask any of them for proof, and they're just like, well, the list is so long.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, just give me one.
But this completely works. All these people, all these street meetups on TikTok where they just interview randos, you know what I mean, on the street. Like,
oh, God.
How do you feel about President Trump? Oh, he's like Hitler. Well, what do you think? Why is he like Hitler? What do you know about Hitler? I don't know. He wants to, take away the democracy.
He's a threat to our democracy.
And then they're like, well, why do you think that? And they're just like, well, because... what did he do before that makes you think that?
There's so many things. I just can't think of one right now.
God, he's just Hitler. That's all there is to it, period.
Yeah, everybody hates him.
Didn't you see the cover of New Republic? You know what I mean? Look at that.
Yeah, they couldn't print that if it wasn't true.
Yeah. I mean, they wouldn't have this.
God, what are you thinking, dude?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and you got people like Joy Reid just, got real pundits on, relatively big shows. I mean, CNN's dying... legacy media anyway, but sure. yeah, people, she gets some,
oh, there's people who watch The View.
Watch her shit, The View, a perfect example.
And Whoopi Goldberg telling people that she would vote for Biden if he pooped his pants.
Yeah. I am really excited excited. It's sad that I'm excited, but to hear what when they finally unleash the opinion people, you know what I mean. They've kind of kept them under wraps this weekend,
I think
right?
it's going to be bad.
Mad Cow in Scarborough. I don't think they came on. It's the weekend.
Sure.
They kept them in the barn for a little bit, but Monday.
What are they going to say?
Like when on the View, like okay.
How are you going to attack Trump now?
Yeah. How are you going to what they have to do and say it was terrible? I mean, the obligatory.
But
we can't have this kind of violence. Right. There'll be a but at the end.
But if when you stir up this much stuff, you can expect things to happen. Bill.
But when you lie like Donald Trump has to the people, when you've done what Donald Trump has done to the people, I'm not surprised. They will rationalize it and somehow try to justify it in some.
I foresee
disgusting way.
Several people going too far with it. And I think there's going to be some jobs lost.
I goddamn hope so.
I mean, but if they say something, but I mean, you already got
it's going to be hard for them to back off, right? How are they going to do? How are they going to swallow their big giant egos, man? Or that's the cognitive dissonance thing, right? Like, I mean, honestly, I think they've told this lie so much that they probably believe it.
Well, they have
to some extent.
Yeah. I mean, because it's like
you got to have some true believers.
Most of the young kids, 100%. They don't have any like we said. They don't have any instances of all the shit.
Yeah.
But if the people on TV are telling them that this is bullshit,
it's disgusting me.
Then they're going to believe it because I mean, what else they got? They got to believe in something, dude. They don't have religion anymore, so believe in the left and the transgenders. They wouldn't lie, Bill.
Can't lie. They don't lie.
They don't lie. They're victims, and they've been, and for some reason, if you're a victim, your opinion is more valid. I don't quite understand that, but that seems to be the way with the left.
Oh man, I don't know where we go from here, brother. But
we go to Trump Cat.
Yeah, our time here. We're going to bring this to kind of a close. We kind of tried to cover best we can just what the breaking news is and our opinions to try to get the gist of what's going on here. I mean, but, y'all are experiencing this right along with ourselves. And
you got any advice for people out there, Bill?
Oh, God. All I know is, just when in doubt, just get a good cat meme. You know what I mean? And, it'll get you through. And this thing just makes me smile, and because I love cats. But dude, that's just awesome. Yeah, I got 9 lives, bitches.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I think we should advise people to not because this is going to be a time when they're going to think that this is time. It's go time now. Just remain peaceful. Don't do anything stupid because that's more what they want, and don't give them what they want.
Yeah, exactly. This is what Trump said: remain vigilant, fight on. Fight the wicked. He didn't even call out the Democrats. He did not say the word Democrat in his speech. He refrained from that. He's playing it smart. He's not doing any of the Trump unhingedness. He's playing this so well, perfectly, absolutely perfectly. So just follow his lead. You know what I mean? He's know that we're on the right side. Beyond the right and left crap. Honestly, the right. Because we know. We're looking for a better America. We don't want our America to be a degenerate. We want, we want to be a healthy.
It can't last as a degenerate
country. And we know the morals the left are pushing down our throat are not good for anybody, for families, for our children, for our future. This is not what our founding fathers wanted. This is not what our forefathers, grandfathers fought for in World War II. That beautiful, iconic picture of them raising that flag at Iwo Jima.
Yeah.
And this is what, and that Trump just took a bullet in the air and raised his fist just like that to say,
frickin' Teddy Roosevelt, man.
Right.
Damn, dude.
Not going down. Let's try. We have a chance to recapture what we had somewhat. It's going to be changed. Because we have to assimilate these people somehow, right? We have to find some common ground. They are Americans. Fortunately,
sort of.
You know what I mean? At least some of them are. There's millions that aren't here.
We could actually send them back. But,
there's millions that are here, but
and there's always California.
Yeah. I mean,
why don't y'all just move to California and leave the rest of us alone?
Yeah.
You're not contributing anyway. We don't really need you. We don't want to kill you. That's not, obviously. I mean, so pray for a little patience, Bill. That's what we need to do.
Yeah, well, God bless America. God bless you, Joe. God bless Donald Trump.
Yes, God bless him.
And, just God bless us all and help us try to get through this trying time, this election. And
vote Trump.
Absolutely, man. You got to now. And All right, everybody, hang in there. We'll see you next time. Thank you for joining us. And please like and subscribe, by the way. We really need that. Bye now.